Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Hope you guys are doing well, and let's get straight to the latest news. And the first one is Victor Gyokeres. What's the latest on that? Obviously, we've been talking about him for about a week now, ever since Berta was announced, and this is the latest on that. So we were told about a meeting yesterday, and this is exclusive. It is our understanding Arsenal have been granted permission from Sporting to explore personal terms with the camp of Victor Gyokeres. Hassan Sentinkaya, the agent, who is also a long-term friend of Mikel Arteta, will now discuss key factors on the player's side with Berta. Berta is pushing for Victor Gyokeres to be strongly considered to lead that Arsenal attack next season, with the interest first being reported by David Ornstein. It is crucial to stress Arsenal are merely laying extensive groundwork for a strong candidate. The new sporting director wants to ensure the club have multiple options to choose from when the time comes to decide. So, as you said at the end of that, also this came from a rising star who we reported about yesterday. Usually gets news correct. So the thing with Victor Gyokeres, this doesn't mean, as they say, this doesn't mean like the deal is done or anything like that. No, it's not yet done or anything. But we are laying the groundwork, the foundations, like we did with players like Declan Rice. The earlier you talk with these players and the agents, the better. So even if a Man United comes in June and says we want Gyokeres will be like, no, I've already discussed with Arsenal. The agent has already agreed terms with Arsenal. I've already agreed personal terms with Arsenal, and this one is basically done. So I'm not going to join any other team. So this is what that is all about, and for the team to basically know which player they're going to go for. Right now, April, you can talk to Isak, you can talk to Gyokeres, you can talk to Sesko. By the time that the window opens in June, you already know which one you're going for. You already know, okay, Isak is not going to come, Sesko is not going to come, Gyokeres is the one who's going to want to join us. Let's now work on that deal to finalize it when the transfer window opens. So I think that is the best way to do it, especially with players like this who are linked to many teams. It is not easy to get it done. So they have allowed us to talk with the player, which is great. So this is definitely easier than the Isak one. Isak is not allowed to talk to anyone. Newcastle don't want him to leave at all. But with Sporting, they've asked Arsenal to, talk to Victor Gyokeres and agree personal terms. So personal terms, as we said, all that, including salary, wages, and all that. I actually just checked how much this guy gets paid per week. Gyokeres gets paid 39,000 per week. Yes, 39,000 per week. That is crazy. Like, if he was a player who had played in England for like 4 years, you'd be like on 300,000 right now. Like, all those goals he scores is on 39,000 per week. Like, you can actually bring him to Arsenal, triple his salary, and Arsenal wouldn't really feel anything with that, and he would be very happy with that, tripling his salary. Even if he asked for 150,000, that would be like still very cheap for Arsenal, for a player who's going to potentially come and change your direction and help you to win the big titles that we want. That's very cheap. So that 9,000 per week, I'm going to be very interested to see how much you're actually going to pay him. If he actually ends up joining Arsenal, that will be one thing I'll be really interested to see how much you're actually going to give him per week, because 39,000, and he's the second highest paid player in the team. So I'm imagining all the rest of the other players, how much they're getting paid. So that shows you the football in Portugal, in England, like the comparison is not there at all. Like England and the money that is there and the money the league gets, it's a lot of money. So I'd say it's close to the agent, and Berta wants the player as well. So for me, this is a deal we should be continuing to explore. So hopefully over the next couple of days and weeks, we hear more good news on this one. So more on Gyokeres. Victor Gyokeres is open to a move to Arsenal this summer and is impressed by the club's project under Mikel Arteta. The Gunners also view the Swede as more attainable option than Alexander Isak. This is according to Alex Cook. So if Victor Gyokeres is open to the move to Arsenal, that would be big for us. That is what usually gets the deal done earlier. If a player wants to join you, that is it. Someone like a Calafiori wanted to join us, so didn't really want to go to any other team, and he ended up joining Arsenal because he was wanted by teams like Real Madrid and teams like that. So if a player really wants to join, he makes the deal easier. It would be impossible if the player doesn't want to move and the player doesn't want to, and the team doesn't want to sell him. It would be impossible to get it done. It is slightly easier if the player wants to join you and the team doesn't want to sell, but the player wants to join you. It's a little bit easier, and then obviously it's even more easy if the team is allowing you to talk to the player and the player is happy to join you. That makes things very, very easy. And again, it's not going to be easy to get Gyokeres. You're not going to be the only team that wants him, but it's great that you're doing all this groundwork early, and it's a player that we need. You don't even have to say how much we need him. We already talked about it throughout the week. I've been talking about Gyokeres since last year, May. This is a player we need. The kind of, we're playing Marino up front. He's doing the job, but we're going into a Champions League quarterfinal against Real Madrid, depending on Marino to score goals for us, a defensive midfield, and Madrid are coming to play with us again with Mbappe and Vinicius and Rodrigo, multiple options. So if you're going to be on that level, you have to have out and out strikers, and we don't even have one right now, which is a huge concern because Jesus is injured. So let's see how this one goes. It's definitely an easier one to do than Isak. So hopefully, let's wait for more good news. So next up, another update on that. Andrea Berta's arrival has made Sporting CP's Victor Gyokeres a really strong contender to join Arsenal this summer, which wasn't necessarily the case prior. The Italian rates him extremely highly, dating back to his time at Atletico Madrid. So again, this is another positive because we've been hearing, Ateta likes Isak, but Andrea Berta likes Gyokeres, and Edu had done a bit of work on Sesko. So which one are we going to go for? Should we go with the one that we had already done a lot of groundwork with in Sesko? It's going to be easier to do, or do we change our approach completely now that we have a new director? Again, I don't think Isak is going to be easy to do. So Gyokeres is the one that we want. So Ateta wanted Isak first. So I'm hoping that does not bring problems next season or the future seasons where Ateta would say, hey, I wanted Isak and you guys got me Gyokeres. I didn't want Gyokeres. No, for me, I actually prefer Gyokeres. I think he's a very, very good finish and he'll do the job in England for sure. But Isak is very expensive and Gyokeres is cheaper. That's the one I would want. So looks like Andrea Berta would want that deal as well. And it would really help if, Ateta is happy to get Gyokeres and Andrea Berta already wanted him from his Atletico Madrid days, then that is a huge bonus for us, a bigger boost for us. So, hey, this is going to be very interesting. At least, though, we are actually talking about strikers. There's times where we never even talk about strikers at all. So this is according to David Ornstein. So, lastly, let's talk about Kieran Tierney and Alexander Zinchenko. Despite Kieran Tierney and potentially Alexander Zinchenko leaving in the summer, there is no certainty Arsenal would sign another left back. The presence of Ricardo Calafiori and Miles Lewis-Kelly could be enough to satisfy the Gunners. This is according to David Ornstein as well. So this is an interesting one. Obviously, we all want a striker first. My second transfer target would be a winger. As I've always said, some people want a number 10 and midfielder, all that. And then the third one would probably be, another midfielder or a goalkeeper, all that. But not too many people have said we need a defender. Now, in terms of defenders, right now we have Saliba. Gabriel will now miss preseason, so I don't know how ready he's going to be for the start of next season. Obviously, Ben White and Timber, hopefully they finish the season okay and they start preseason next time. I'm fully fit, both of them. And then we have Kiwior. We are not sure if he's going to stay. Tierney has already basically left to Celtic. And we have Zinchenko, who we don't know if he's going to stay or not. And we prefer him in midfield. And then there's Lewis-Kelly, who's a midfielder, but he's been playing for us well at left back. And then there's Calafiori, who is usually a centre back, but he's been playing better for us going forward. And we're going to be using him as a left back and also has a lot of injuries. So are we safe at defensively, not starting with Gabriel next season, with Kiwior stay, is he going to leave? We're going to use Timber as a centre-back next season instead and Ben White as a right-back. All those are questions that are going to be asked. So they've said that Calafiori and Lewis-Kelly are going to be used as left-backs next season. I still don't think that is enough. Personally, for me, I would prefer Calafiori to go back to his normal position, centre-back next season and help out Gabriel, and then have Lewis-Kelly and another left-back there. So who's that left-back going to be? It's looking like we're going to need another defender, but as I've said, for me, I think we're going to need another defender. If Tierney leaves and Zinchenko leaves, those are two gaps there. Then, this season we've had problems up front. What I don't want to happen is next season you have enough players up front and then boom, we don't have Gabriel at the start of the season and Ben White misses a few games. We don't have any other options. Now we have a problem defensively now. We want to have a good squad throughout next season, from goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, strikers. Let's sort out all the gaps that we have. And that's why I say to you guys yesterday, I don't think we're in a position to sell a lot of players, not at all. Because if you sell Tierney and Zinchenko, you're two men short at the back, and we already don't have enough players, even with Tierney and Zinchenko in the team. So if you sell them, and Calafiori is injury prone, and Tomiyasu obviously is injury prone, we don't have enough defenders. So personally, for me, I would be looking to keep someone between Zinchenko and Kiwi. I don't think you can sell both of them. I think you have to keep at least one of them. Selling both of them would be a bit, a bit of a problem because we don't have enough players. So although David Hansen says it doesn't guarantee that you're going to sign a defender. So all that, this is going to be an interesting summer, man. I cannot wait for the transfer window. Hopefully this time we are happy after the transfer window. But in terms of sales and players who are coming to the team, there's players like Fabio Vieira who's going to come back. Reece Nelson is going to come back. Like all these are deals that need to be sorted. Are they going to stay? Are they going to be sold? All that. But let me know what you make about all that. And thank you for watching. And I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.